Welcome back, Showa spectators. Following the Dream 5 unboxing video I did, as well as the Anguirus 1972 review I just posted, we're on to our second figure, and that's going to be the 1974 Mecha Godzilla figure from the Bandai Dream 5 box set. Let's get a little background on this character. Mecha Godzilla showed up disguised as Godzilla, attacked Anguirus, revealed himself to the real Godzilla. The two of them engaged in a blazing fight the first go-round to a stalemate, and Godzilla went to go and lick his wounds. Mecha Godzilla went to go get repairs. In the final fight, he fought both King Caesar and Godzilla together and lost that fight when Godzilla took on magnetic powers and tore off the head of this mechanical menace. Yes, I've done so many Mechagodzilla reviews in the past, and I'm kind of tired and burnt out, but this was the last one I was waiting for. I've done the Mechagodzilla 2, the Chogokin one, the flying version, and even the Playmate / Bandai USA one, and now we have this guy, who is supposed to be my definitive version, but there's some issues I have with this figure, even though it's a very nice looking piece. Get ready for my review for the Dream 5 Mechagodzilla 1974. So this was a figure I was actually looking forward to a great deal from the Dream 5 box set, and it's a beautiful figure. As you can see, he is nice and shiny and silvery. He looks like he's just built from space titanium. Mechagodzilla 74 is, in the presentation, very gorgeous. Look at that. You just see him and it's just, he pops really, really nice. That bright, shiny silver outer color he's cast in all around just kind of gives off a nice little glare, gives that metallic appearance. He is probably one of the best representations of this version that we have in vinyl format, at least in 6-inch, although that could be up for debate, which I'll speak on later. But for now, let's take a closer look. Yes, cast in that shiny silver vinyl. He just looks gorgeous. Look at that. His face, his everything. Just, you got some dark sprays in certain areas. His shoulder accordion joints. He's got some dark sprays along his bracers, lining that his body. Look at it in the front panel here. That's framing the cutter beam. You got it right there on the thigh joints. It's not in abundance like some other Mechagodzilla figures, but it's there. It's in random sprays, and it's not as contrasty as you would see in other figures. Now, let's take a look at that MG logo. Nice deep red, beautiful. You got that same deep red right there in the command receiver ear pods, and he gets these nice little orangey kind of lights both in his belly and up towards his clavicle or sternum, whatever you want to call it. The eyes also get that nice orangey glare. It really adds to his menace. It looks good. It looks really good, actually. I mean, I can't say anything wrong about this. Look at that. So, that being said, I think the paint is perfect. Now, let's take a look at the details. I mean, we'll start with all the panels, the little rivets. Look at his tail has all those multiple, facets. So the accordion is it's even got like a suit depression effect on it, which is really interesting. You get a little bit of the suit depressions in the leg. Nothing too defined, but it's all there. You get it right there in the shins. Look at that. I love that. I really love that about modern Bandai figures, how they try to get that kind of soft material effect in the actual figures. Now, let's give us another look here with all these little rivets all over the body. I mean, they're everywhere. Look at it. And almost every panel they're lining around it. They're framing each panel with these rivets on the arms, the elbow pads, the neck. Look at that, along the face. It looks beautiful. It's just, how do they get all these little dots all over there? I would love to know how these things are sculpted. They're beautiful. The rivets continue along the back. They go in between his dorsal plates. And he's got his little thruster in his tail. That's cool. Look at all of those little multi-joints in the legs, the rivets on the multi-panels in the tail, and then in the legs you get those rivets turning around. Beautiful. Yeah, that face has got that scowl, that mechanical menace scowl. The teeth are there. They are kind of molded in. They're not as prevalent, but that's still nice. Now, when it comes to articulation, this is where the disappointment comes in. Arm does a full 360. Other arm does a full 360. And you're done. Nothing else. Wow. I really can't believe that. With other versions, we got leg, we got waist. The head doesn't even move. It's just kind of fused on there. It's part of the mold. It's not even a separate piece. You know, the legs are molded on. I mean, at least a waist joint if you weren't going to do the legs. So disappointing. That was my big letdown on that. But he is still good looking. Now we're going to compare him with his other 74 figure from the Bandai Playmates release from here in the States. This guy, obviously, his paint job is way more defined. This is really a case of apples to oranges, what you would put on your shelf. This one is wild because you have one with a standard classic Mechagodzilla pose and one in a more wild pose, and they scale pretty much the same height-wise. The Bandai / Playmates version fares a little bit better in a lot of areas. He does have posability in all his limbs. He's just got that waist movement. Looks good. The leg movement. Wow. He's one-upping him. It's a good thing this is in a versus video. But look at it. He's just this movable, posable figure. Now, the question is, are Bandai figures action figures, or are they figurines with articulation? And honestly, this is going above and beyond, and I was honestly expecting this to lose its shine when the newer version came out. But looking at the head sculpts though, however, I do think that the Dream 5 version wins on that. I think the Playmates Bandai America one is a little misproportioned, but it still looks good. Now, let's see who else we can pair him up with. With Godzilla 1974, his opponent from the original Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla movie. Scaling is perfect. It's perfect. Look at that. They are almost eye to eye with each other. They look gorgeous together. Man, I wish I was like 4 years old and I had these toys. I would go nuts with this. But I'm 51 now, so I'm still happy I got them. You can just see, looking at the backside, the dorsal plates, the difference in tail length, all looks good, you know? Yeah, there's just so much to glean over on this. It's just a wonderful set to have. Beautiful work. Let's turn them back around, get that last shot of them, the two going at each other. Well, you know, it's not complete unless we bring in the king. Yes, sir, it's King Caesar. It's also the other Playmates Bandai version that came out a few years ago, which is probably the better version of the King Caesar figures available. And all three of them look great. It's like we're ready to rumble now, guys. This is beautiful. Yeah, again, if you're not really interested in how articulated your figures are, he is perfectly suitable. Now let's bring in the flying version. Now, these guys really pair well together in terms of colors, although I would say the flying version gets a little bit more in the contrasts with its paint. The darker colors on his, hips and his shoulder and his bracers are a lot more apparent. But you can see that the details are very lacking on that just because it's modeled after the prop. Face to face, yeah. the flying version really has a really gawky, funny face, but you know, what do you want? Let's see him from the backside. Looks good. They look really good together. He'll make a really nice companion piece for a Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla display. Now, this is what I was looking forward to. The 74 versus 75, and here we are. We've got both versions, one from Terror of Mechagodzilla. He was an excellent Bandai figure and still is to this day, not just in presentation, but also in posability. You can see, though, that there is a size difference proportion-wise. While I've always maintained that the 75 had less girth than the 74, these figures actually reverse that, and they make the 75 look a little bit more portly than his more robust 74 should usually be. But this guy, I believe because he was upscaled from that smaller figure, or if it was the other way around, he is a little bit on the slim side. A little disappointing, but not terrible. Face to face, both of them have excellent head sculpts, and I just love the differences, the visual differences between these two, so it makes it easier to, like, you know, separate them on the shelf. Now, let's put all of my Mechagodzillas together so we can get this full-on Mechagodzilla gallery. Now, you can never have enough Mechagodzilla, but you can definitely review enough Mechagodzilla. So I've done a review for all of these guys, and you know what, though? I can't decide which one I like better. They all have their strengths. I think that the Playmates one has it in the paint and the posability. I love the flying one for its uniqueness. 75 is just all around perfect. And Dream 5 is like, I would say, the perfect profile Mechagodzilla. He has the stance. He just has the standard pose you see him in photos with. And lined up, they just look like this neat evolution of ideas. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful trio. Another screenshot-worthy image. Let's look at them side to side, all of them, and you can just see. Yeah, this is pretty badass. If I was just a Mechagodzilla collector, this would be a great day for me. But again, Dream 5 probably is he the least of the three in my opinion. For some reasons, yes, but in others, he's so classic, and they just nailed that classic aesthetic. I can't really decide. It's too early. This box set is still too fresh. Maybe I'll do a revisit later on, and we'll make a decision. But for now, let's have Jaguar make the decision. So, yeah, 3 punches. It's kind of so-so for me. Mechagodzilla is a beautiful figure. He's gorgeous. He's definitely a display piece. He's winning in the paint. He's winning in the details, but he's really losing in that articulation department, and that's really a shame. I just was hoping for so much more, and I expected a little bit more from Bandai, but beggars can't be choosers. This is still something that I'm going to cherish with the collection I have. He'll probably be the one that's going to be on my shelf over the Playmates one. What do you think? Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this figure. Like, share, and subscribe because I have more reviews coming for the Dream 5 box set. Until then.